Good afternoon. My name is Jaros. I'm Senate District 4. I'm going to be speaking on equal parenting, and I'm a delegate here to the convention. This is my second convention. I just want to kind of touch up a little bit of what David said, maybe give you a little different perspective. When we're talking about equal parenting, we often talk about the starting point. The legal term for that is called the rebuttable presumption. That's just where you're going to start when you walk into a courtroom. For instance, we have a presumption of innocence if you're ever in a criminal trial. You're presumed to be innocent. That way there has to be a boundary that must be crossed to prove that you're guilty. And that is a protection, is a fundamental liberty that we all have. I believe that is a fundamental liberty of every child and every parent, that there should be a presumption that that child needs both of his parents or her parents in their lives. We don't have that right now. We have a judge deciding which parent is the better parent. Well, what if you have two amazing parents? Well, unfortunately, there's going to be a conflict. Because I can tell you right now, any decent parent does not want to be the parent that's getting just weekends with their children. So you go there and you sling mud at the other parent. And you create a situation where for the rest of that child's growing up time, and even after that, parents, they lie and they say horrible, nasty things to try to make themselves look better in the eyes of the court and the eyes of the judge. So what begins with a fight is going to continue with the fight. Now, Kentucky passed an equal parenting bill in 2017, and I want to share with you some of the benefits with that bill. There was, just for reference, there was only 3 nay votes in all of the Kentucky legislature in the Senate and the House of Representatives. In the few years that this has been in effect, divorces have gone down. Litigation has gone down. Since our laws in Texas that we have now are currently in place, our litigation has gone up 400%. The lawyers love this legislation because, basically, where else are we going to go? I have thrown over $100,000. In my case, we have another father here who spent $200,000 just to try to get time with our children. The Kentucky bill has been a huge success. It'd be great to make this a legislative priority. This is our party. This is my party, the Republican Party. I need y'all helping me out. This bill right here is going to shrink government. It's going to reduce the need for family court judges. We're not going to have all this endless litigation. My county had to add a judge this last session because the courts are being overwhelmed in Montgomery County right now. Less taxes. Think of all the money that will be saved from the social programs. Fatherlessness is a $100 billion a year problem in the United States. That number comes from 10 years ago. It's only increased. And that doesn't include all the incarcerations, the prisons. Kids are hurting. You know, I can give you some statistics here at the end. And I liken it to this. I have a degree in evangelism. It's kind of like a pastor. And we talk a lot about this as pastors about fruit and root. And we always talk about the issues that grow up out of something. And we've got a lot of issues with fatherlessness, like drug abuse, teen pregnancy, and all these different things, incarceration rates. Those are the fruit that we're seeing right now in our society. We talk about these school shootings. Did you know that the young man down there in Santa Fe went for periods of 6 months without seeing his father? Almost every shooter, mass shooter, has come from a fatherless home. There's been very few that have not. I interviewed some inmates at the Montgomery County Jail, and I spoke with a man there who had grown up without a father. And I asked him this question. Would it have made a difference if you had a father in your life? He was in there for drug use. His response to me was, if I had a father in my life growing up, it would have made all the difference in the world. Out of 30 inmates I interviewed at the Montgomery County Jail, 27 out of 30 came from a fatherless home. Our prisons are full of fatherless people. Some greeting card executives decided after Mother's Day that they were going to show up at a prison, at a federal prison, and hand out Mother's Day greeting cards for all the inmates. So they showed up with some boxes of cards, and it was such a huge success that they ran out of cards. They had to head back to the office and pick up more greeting cards for Mother's Day.
Time. Did anybody have any questions?
Need some more time, Judge?
I could use just...
I'll make a motion, just as that, work with my Senate District team, and I'll like to get Josh this time, please, so we can actually speak more about it. I second. Sorry. We're going to go on top, right, Josh?
I'll stick with one if you give more time.
You know approximately how much more you need?
You give me a couple more minutes to get that.
Okay. I'll make that 3 minutes. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposing?
Nay.
Proceed.
So they decided it was such a huge success that they decided that they'd go back for Father's Day. And so they showed up with these boxes of cards. Except nobody showed up because nobody knew who their father was. In Texas, we have 7.25 million children. If we get this passed, that has the potential to affect 2 million children here in Texas who are going through divorce. I'm just going to read some statistics for you really quick about children that are in fatherless homes. 63% of youth suicides, 90% of runaways, 71% of high school dropouts, 85% of children with behavioral disorders, 70% of juveniles in state institutions, 75% rapists with displaced anger due to fatherlessness, 75% of youth in substance abuse centers. These children are twice as likely to end up in jail, 4 times more likely to be poor. Girls are 7 times more likely to become pregnant as teenagers. Girls are 100% higher at risk for obesity. Children are 270 times more likely to end up dealing drugs. Children that have equal parenting are less likely to divorce. They have higher test scores. You know, this is an issue that was never in my backyard until I went through it. I did everything that I could to save my marriage, and I'd do it all over again. But nobody knows about it until you go through it. We just started getting politically involved last session. It was our first Republican convention this last time. This is our second one. We don't talk about it. Fathers don't talk about fathers. But I can assure you that in your districts, every single district, you have fathers that want to jump on this issue. They need your help. We're just learning to get politically involved. We're just learning the process. I hope you guys will make this a priority. This has potential to cause such great positive things in our society. Other than abortion, this should be the number 2 priority. Thank you.
Questions?
Jaros, SB 27. I am a numbers person. Is there some way you can get those statistics to us?
Yes, if you guys give me a little time, I will get you an email and send you over. Most of these statistics were from the U.S. Census Bureau and the Department of Health.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you could send it to